Starting with the absolute worst upgrade, number one, that is the oversized or split kitchen islands. Big islands are incredibly popular right now, but they're absolutely killing the kitchen flow. You see, the standard design recommendation is to have at least 42 inches of clearance on all sides of the island, but a lot of people think that 36 inches is close enough, and it's really not. Try opening your dishwasher or your refrigerator and having someone talk behind you at the same time with only 36 inches of space. You'll be doing the whole awkward sideways shuffle every single day. And if you have kids running around, someone is eventually going to get their hip checked into a sharp quartz corner. Split islands are even worse. You get all the traffic problems of a massive island, plus you lose the continuous counter space that makes islands useful in the first place. Measure once, build once, and design for how you actually live. Which brings me to the second worst upgrade that you can make, having an oven and microwave combo unit. Yes, it can look really great having a built-in space-saving wall, oven, and microwave all stacked together in one clean unit. But here is the actual appliance math. When the microwave inevitably stops working in like 5 years, you're gonna have to rip out the entire system and replace the whole thing, including a perfectly functioning oven. Even worse, manufacturers often compromise on performance to force fit them together. You end up paying a premium for a smaller, weaker microwave and a mid-oven. So instead of that, install a dedicated standalone wall oven and create a finished alcove for a separate microwave instead. So when one breaks, you replace half of your investment, not the whole thing. And speaking of built-in kitchen features, the third worst upgrade you can do is open shelving instead of upper cabinets. Don't do it. And I get it, aesthetically it can look beautiful, especially when you look at those pictures online and you see stacked white ceramic dishes, maybe a trailing plant, some pristine cookbooks sitting on floating oak shelves. What they don't show you is the basic physics. It doesn't work. Every time you cook, grease particles, steam, and dust mix into a sticky film that settles directly onto your exposed plates. So unless you want to wash your dishes before you use them every single night, I'd say skip it. On top of that, unless every single piece of glassware you own perfectly matches, open shelving can quickly transform a kitchen from a minimalist luxury to a cluttered garage sale look. So just stick with the standard cabinets. This brings me to a very controversial fourth worst upgrade: waterfall countertops on kitchen islands. Now, really quick, before I tell you why these are a terrible upgrade, if you're finding value in this video so far, do me the quick favor of liking it and hitting that subscribe button. So, back to the waterfall islands. This is where your stone countertop wraps 90 degrees and runs all the way down to the floor. It looks highly dramatic, but think about it logically. You are paying thousands extra to place your most expensive fragile material at shin level. So these edges take constant abuse from banging bar stools, kicked shoes, and vacuum cleaners, and getting that matching veining patterns around that 90-degree corner requires a complex custom stone fabrication that drives up labor costs and material waste. So to top it off, that vertical stone slab completely eliminates your seating flexibility. Bar stools that you want to fit around your kitchen island that have a back support won't slide underneath it properly, turning an expensive design feature into a daily obstacle course. Save that money and upgrade your appliances instead. And while we're still talking about kitchen finishes, the fifth worst upgrade that you can do is black stainless steel and matte black fixtures. Showrooms love displaying the moody elegance of these dark finishes, but here is the industry secret. That dark coating is not solid material. It's a thin oxide or paint-like film that's bonded over standard silver stainless steel. The moment a frying pan, a watch, or a ring scratches that finish, and it will, the bright silver base metal shines through, and there's absolutely no way to polish or buff it back. It's the same story in the bathroom. Matte black hardware acts as a total magnet for hard water spots, fingerprints, and soap scum. So you're gonna find yourself wiping them down multiple times a day just to keep them looking decent. Which brings me to the sixth worst upgrade: marble countertops, and honestly, almost marble anything. Carrara marble is gorgeous, there is no question about it, but installing it in a high-use kitchen means entering a very toxic and high-maintenance relationship. Marble is a soft and highly porous stone, so if someone spills a glass of pretty much anything other than water at a dinner party, or leaves an oily pan sitting overnight, or drops a splash of lemon juice on the surface, it will permanently stain and etch. Most families just want to cook dinner and clean up later. They don't want to treat their countertops like a fragile museum artifact. So go with a high quality engineered quartz that mimics the look of marble without any of the anxiety. Now we're going to move on to the 7th worst upgrade that you can do, and that is having a total open concept floor plan without a quiet room escape. The trend of knocking down every interior wall to create one giant living space was great until the reality of modern life hit. If you have kids running around, or someone trying to watch TV, or if you have a pet that's making a lot of noise, and someone else is trying to take a professional work call, an open concept home will quickly turn into an echo chamber of pure chaos. Open spaces are amazing for entertaining, but a functional home requires balance. You need at least one secondary room with a solid closing door, whether it's a den, a pocket door office, or a finished basement space where someone can escape and actually hear themselves think. Which brings me to the 8th worst upgrade, sunrooms disguised as extra square footage. A lot of people add a glass enclosed porch or a sunroom thinking they're cheaply increasing the size of their home without paying for a full-blown foundation addition. But here is the appraiser reality check. The sunroom square footage will not be included in your home's official gross living area on an appraisal because they usually lack standard tied-in HVAC systems and continuous structural insulation. So appraisers treat them as an attached amenity, yielding a terrible 48% return on your investment. If you want true equity and real countable square footage, you have to build a traditional, fully conditioned addition. And speaking of modern architectural additions, the 9th worst upgrade you can do is shadow gap baseboards. In ultra-modern, minimalist luxury homes, designers love this look. It's where the drywall terminates just above the floor with a tiny metal reveal, creating the illusion that your walls are floating. And it looks incredibly sleek, I have to give it that. But from a construction and living standpoint, it's a nightmare. Drywallers and floor installers have to be completely flawless because any slight imperfection in your home's framing will show. More importantly than that, that tiny recessed gap at the floor acts as a permanent trap for dust, pet hair, and crumbs that a vacuum cleaner is not going to be able to reach easily. So unless you enjoy cleaning your baseboards with a toothbrush, I say skip it. And this brings us to the 10th worst upgrade, Whirlpool jetted tubs. They're bulky, they take 20 minutes and 100 gallons of water to fill, they are incredibly loud when they run, and they ultimately end up serving as an oversized laundry hamper for wet towels. But the real horror story with these happens inside the plumbing lines. So water sits stagnant inside those internal jet pipes, and if you don't run a specialized chemical flush regularly, then mold and bacteria is gonna build up. The next time you turn those jets on to relax, years of black grime will shoot out directly into your clean bath water. It's happened before. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's why buyers want them ripped out when they buy a house that has them. And speaking of primary bathroom layouts, the 11th worst upgrade that you can do is a giant centerpiece tub layout. Placing a massive sculptural freestanding soaking tub right in the absolute center of a primary bathroom can look spectacular in real estate listings and on Instagram, but the actual market data shows that modern homebuyers are heavily shifting towards premium oversized showers. Spending tens of thousands of dollars to center your entire bathroom around a giant tub that you might use twice a year completely starves a room of functional floor space. The better move is to push a scaled down soaking tub to the side and allocate your budget toward an incredible shower with dual rainfall heads, built-in benches, or a steam option. And this brings us to the 12th worst upgrade, wall-to-wall carpeting. I'm sorry to say it, If you're renovating bedrooms or a second floor, you might be tempted to lay down thick, plush carpet, but according to the National Association of Realtors Remodeling Impact Report, carpeting is one of the worst interior upgrades for your wallet, occasionally even dropping a home's value by over 3%. Because buyers look at wall-to-wall carpet and immediately see a future expense to rip it out because carpets trap allergens, pet dander, and deep stains over time. Plus, nobody wants to inherit somebody else's old carpeting. The data shows that refinishing or installing hardwood floors recovers up to 118% of its cost at resale. Hardwood wins every single day of the week. And speaking of outdoor spaces, the 13th and final worst upgrade you can do is high maintenance luxury landscaping and koi ponds. Building elaborate stone waterfalls, fountains, or complex fish ponds adds incredible character to a backyard, but it returns a dismal 50% or less of its cost. Why? Because it turns off standard buyers. When a typical home buyer walks into a backyard and sees a koi pond, they're not going to be thinking about a relaxing oasis. They're doing the mental math on the cost of fish food, chemical balancing, water pumps, and winterizing the whole system. So high maintenance features alienate anyone who doesn't want a part-time job maintaining their yard, which is a lot of people. Keep your landscaping clean, classic, and easy to manage. So those are the 13 worst upgrades, but wait, I actually have one bonus worst upgrade for you that didn't quite fit the official 13, but is too dangerous to ignore. And that is dark exterior paint paired with black vinyl windows. The moody jet black exterior trend is having a massive architectural moment right now, but physics always wins. Dark surfaces absorb massive amounts of radiant heat from UV rays. So this extreme thermal stress causes dark exterior paint to fade, chalk, and peel twice as fast as lighter colors, meaning you'll be paying thousands for a repaint much sooner. And even worse, black vinyl window frames absorb so much heat that the vinyl can warp, softening the factory seals and completely destroying the energy efficiency of your windows. If you absolutely love the dark look though, you need to upgrade to aluminum or wood-clad windows that can actually handle the heat. At the end of the day, it is your house. If you want to install a low ROI project like a custom patio or a specific color cabinet because it brings you daily joy, you should absolutely do it. But do it for your own lifestyle. Never do it thinking it's a shortcut to making your home worth more money. Trends fade, but practical data-driven design never goes out of style. So let me know in the comments which of these upgrades do you agree with and which of them do you disagree with. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more real estate reality checks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.